آرزوم رسیدم وقتی که در نگاه طلوع عشق دیدم شراب نابی سبو سبو چشیدم ای گل رویایی تو عروس شهر افسانه بایی عاشقت میمونم قدرت رو میدونم نیاد اون روزی که بی تو بمونم لیلا لیلا صدا نمیاد محکم
Good evening, everyone. Keish Echad, Belev Echad. It is an honor and pleasure to welcome everyone to the 20th annual dinner of the Persian congregation of Flatbush. It is great to see so many people gathered here together tonight from close and afar to come and show their support for Harbatzat Torah. In the year 2001, there was a terrible tragedy that befell upon Yerushalayim. There was a wedding hall by the name of Olmei Versailles, the Versailles Hall. And in this wedding hall, there was a wedding going on, and lo alenu, the wedding floor caved in, and many people came crashing down, 90 feet to the ground, causing over 300 injuries and over 20 deaths. And the scary part of this tragedy was that this whole tragedy was actually videoed, because there was a wedding going on, and they videoed the whole thing from the beginning to end. And I personally saw the video online, and to see hundreds of people just coming down together at the same time just shook me to my core. Shortly after this tragedy, there was a shocking story that was revealed. You see, there were two families that were in a very big machloket. For many years, they were in a very big fight, and the whole community knew that these two people were in a very big fight. Until one day, they decided that enough is enough, and we are going to make peace. And they make peace. However, the problem was that the whole community knew that these two families were in a very big fight. And they wanted to show everyone that they had made peace. And they're going back and forth, how are we going to do this? How are we going to show everyone that we made peace? And they decided that the best way that they can show everyone that they made peace is by attending each other's samachot. And it happened to be that both of their sons were getting married in a short time. And they said, you know what, beautiful, we'll go to each other's samachot. However, upon looking at the dates, they realized that the two dates were on the same day. The two wedding nights were on the same day. What are we going to do? I can't come to your wedding and you can't come to my wedding. You have to be by your son's wedding. One of the families decide that in order to maintain the peace, in order to preserve the peace, and to show everyone that we have made peace, they were going to push over their son's wedding to another night. And they do so. They go on to the wedding and they're able to show the peace and go on. And the next morning after this wedding, they hear about the terrible tragedy of Olmei Versailles, the wedding hall that came crashing down. Now, this family was supposed to have their wedding in this wedding hall, Olmay Versailles. But this is not the crazy part. The shocking part about this was that they were supposed to have their wedding on the 3rd floor. Now you see, Olmay Versailles had 2 wedding halls. They had one on the 4th floor, and they had one on the 3rd floor. Now, had this family had their wedding on the 3rd floor, what would have happened, lo alenu, would have been that from the 4th floor, people, tables, and chairs would come crashing down to the 3rd floor, resulting in lo alenu to the death of every single person at that wedding. However, since these people wanted to preserve the peace and to show that they had unity with each other, they did not have that wedding and they were saved. One can evidently see the power of unison and the power of akhdut through this story. Our youth minyan began about 7 years ago. Baruch Hashem, I've had the honor and pleasure to have an involvement in our youth minyan since its initiation. Now, I've seen many people come and visit our minyan. However, one comment that I get repeatedly over and over and over again from these people is about the warmth and unison of our minyan. They always come over to me and they tell me, wow, your minyan is so special. We feel so warm when we come here. Everyone is biyachad, everyone is together. It's so special. We sense the warmth in your minyan. And to tell you the truth, the warmth and the akhdut that I see in our minyan, I have seen nowhere else. I'm going to say it again. The warmth and akhdut that I see within our youth minyan, I have seen nowhere else. Now, this is thanks to the guidance and leadership of our phenomenal Rabbanim who have put their life, time, money, and sweat into making this shul a Makom Torah. I apologize if I leave some names out. Some of these Rabbanim who have put many hours of their time to making our minyan a success is Harav Shmuel Suleimani, Harav Yaakov Suleimani, Harav Vapari, Harav Shaliach Sibur, and Harav Yonatan Shamani. To tell you the truth, I wasn't sure if I was going to say this part of the speech tonight, and I didn't even write this in my notes. However, I said that if I don't say this part of the speech, I'm going to feel very guilty. You see, earlier today, I was walking on Kings Highway, and from across the street, I see a Hispanic man waving to me. I take a look at him one time, I don't recognize him. I look at him 2 times, I don't recognize him. Who is this guy? I look at him a 3rd time and I say, Antonio, is that you? He's like, yes, how are you? You see, Antonio was our worker from the shul from many, many years ago. He left, but he still remembered me. And I was talking to him, how's everything, how's life, going on, back and forth. And he tells me, how is my rabbi doing? I tell him, your rabbi? He's like, yeah, my rabbi. I'm like, the last time I checked, you weren't Jewish. When did you get a rabbi? He's like, he's my rabbi. I'm like, yeah, he's doing good. And before I left him, I asked him, Antonio, why do you call him my rabbi? He's like, to tell you the truth, he's like, when I began to work in the shul, I didn't have a place to live really. I was looking for a place to rent. And wherever I would go, they would not accept me because they're like, we don't know if you can pay your bills, we're not going to give you an apartment. And one day as I was cleaning the shul, I started conversing with the rabbi and telling him that I couldn't find a place. And the moment the rabbi found out that I don't have a place, he started calling people to find me a place that I could rent from. Now this is just an illustration for us to understand the personality of the rabbi. His kindness is something that we cannot fathom. He has helped everyone and anyone that he can help. And I really did not make this up. I couldn't make this up if I could. I saw him earlier on today. It was Hashgacha Pratit that I saw him, and that we actually talked about this. Baruch Hashem, our minyan has made great advancements since its initiation with various shiurim, whether it's with Rav Yaakov, with Rav Shaliach Tzibur. We have Shabbat meals, kids programs, and so on and so forth. And I give all this credit to the unbelievable achdut that our minyan has. We are proud of every single one of you. Every single one of you is a gem that makes Hashem's crown shine. We love every single one of you. Ke'ish echad, belev echad. We're looking forward to growing with all of you lemala in Torah mitzvot, and may we all be zocheh to see the rebuilding of the binyan b'Beit HaMikdash HaShlishi b'meirav v'yameinu. Amen. Thank you very much.
Sharon, we're proud of you and all the boys. And ما بچه‌ها رو ببینید. بچه‌ها رو ببینید که Baruch Hashem, they're going in the way of Hashem. تمام زحمت و خستگی از بدنمون میره. It's a pleasure to see these young, beautiful boys and girls growing like flowers in our community.
Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you. I want to thank everybody that participated, making Kiddush Hashem, coming here and join us with the dinner of the hard-working Rabbanim that we have, Rav Suleimani Shlita, for many, many years, that we've been helping with the community from A to Z, from 6 o'clock in the morning with the shiurim, and also all the way to 11 o'clock at night. When I work 9 to 5, after 5 o'clock, I tell my boss, overtime, you're gonna pay me? You're gonna have to pay me, but our rabbi, no, is 24/7, anything, anywhere, any halachot, any issues, school with the kids, a lot of issues that in the community is involved, and Baruch Hashem has been giving a lot of good advices to everybody, and we're proud to have such a rabbi here in our community, and also the kolelim that we have for many, many years that they started the community here. Baruch Hashem, I see that people are in a better direction of Torah, Kashrut, Shabbat, many issues of halachot. Baruch Hashem, we have Rav Mapari, Rav Shaliach Tzibur, Rabbi Peres, and also Rabbi Yaakov Suleimani with the youth minyan, and many other rabbanim that they are really helping with the community. This is our to show our hakarat tov to them, and I want to thank you for joining us, coming, and giving this support. Thank you very much.
I just recently saw a story I want to share with you. There was a businessman, he went to Manhattan. A businessman went to Manhattan, one of these big skyscrapers. He had some business deals and he had a lot of cash with him in his bag. He did his business. After he did his business, he said that he's going to go to the roof of the building to take a look at the overview of the Manhattan. So he went upstairs to the roof of that building. When he went, on top of the roof. The door closed on him. He was locked out on the roof. So he went, looked out, and looked at the people. Everybody looked like ants walking in the street. He started to yell at the people downstairs. He was yelling, but nobody could hear him. It was getting late in the afternoon. It was getting later, and he figured that he's trying to do all kind of noises to be able to catch people's attention. Nobody paying attention. So he had an idea. He said, I'm going to throw down some $100 bills from the building. Maybe people to see money's coming down, they're going to look up. He threw in some $100 bills. He saw the people walking and seeing a $100 bill on the sidewalk. They bent, they took the money, and they walked. He didn't catch the people's eyes. Then he said, you know what, I'm going to dump in a pack of $100. Maybe that's going to catch your attention. He's going to freeze it to death in the roof. He threw in a couple of packs of $100. Again, he saw some people, they saw that. They bent, they pick up their bundles of the money, and they walked away. It was already getting dark, and he said if he's going to stay overnight on the top of the roof, he's not going to survive. So he looked around, he found some rocks on the roof, some stones. He took the stones and he threw it down. As the people were walking, he sees stones coming down. Everybody look up, and they see somebody all the way on top. They quickly called 911. There's a terrorist up there, they're trying to kill people. So quickly, 911, the police came, and fire department, everybody else came and rescued the guy. So this is the story. This rabbi was telling this story, and he took a tremendous outlook from this story. When we happens that we have barakah in our life, we don't look up. When we have success in our life, we don't look up at where is the source of the success. We take it for ourselves and we walk away. We don't look up where it came from. But chas v'shalom, when we have tzarot, right away we look up and say, who gave me this tzarot? We're going to look for the source to blame somebody who gave me this problem. And who's giving me this problem is coming to me. And it should be really the other way around. We have plenty of barakot in our lives, and we have to take a minute and to look up and to look at where is the source of the barakah we have. Do not pick up the barakot and just walk away without knowing that who gave it to you. We have to appreciate so many barakot that we have from Borei Olam Hashem Yitbarach that is constantly pumping barakot in our lives. And we should not take it for granted. And unfortunately we do. We don't look up. Only when chas v'shalom something not happens, he said, Ma Hashem asalanu. That's what the brothers of Yosef said. When they got into that pickle in the jail, they said, why is Hashem doing this to us? We associate our problem with Hashem, but not the barakot. And it's an amazing story. It's an amazing story. I've never heard such a story in my life. About Rav Yitzchak Midartichov. Rav Levi Yitzchak Midartichov was one of the biggest lawyers of Am Yisrael. He's always saying good about Am Yisrael. They say one time by Layl Kippur, he came to the shul, and there were people ready to make Kol Nidre. And Rav Levi thought he wanted to start Kol Nidre, but he saw the tzaddikim, they see that the tefillahs are not going up. They see that there's a blockage. So his Rav Levi, he had a minhag. Whenever the tefillot he saw that they were not going up, he left the shul. He used to leave the shul and go to the streets. So Leil Pesach, Leil Kippur, he left everybody in the shul. And he would start walking in the streets of Bardichov. He went in the outskirts, in the section of the Aniyim. As he was walking, he saw a house. It was shining, full of light. And he knew that this was not from Gan Eden. He saw this house is shining like a day. He said, I gotta find out who's in this house. He went to the house, he knocked on the door, and a young lady came in. The young lady opened the door, and he sees Rabbi Chav with his shtreimel, with his talit, with a beard. He recognized who he is. As soon as he saw the rabbi, he started crying. He said, Rabbi, I know you came to give me musar. It's all my fault. I did the avera. I tried to do teshuvah, but Hashem didn't accept my teshuvah. Rabbi Tzach says, I don't know what he's talking about. And she was crying. So he told her, sit down. And tell me, what is it that you're saying that? What avera you did? The girl said, I used to live in a different city. And I used to live with my parents, with my mother and father, and I was the only child. And unfortunately, the turn of future happened that her father and mother died in a very short span of time. They used to rent a little barn from a Poritz. Poritz is some goy that he used to be a landlord in the city. The goyim, that's what they have. And they used to have some cows. They used to milk them and sell the milk. And here the father died, mother died, she's all left by herself. What is she going to do? So she decided they're going to go to the Poritz and ask him to renew the lease. This way he can make some living and be able to live in that house. She went to the Poritz and he told her the story with tears to the Poritz that he is all alone in the world. The Poritz told her, I'm willing to renew the lease for the half the price I used to give to your parents. But only one condition. Only if you let me to put my hand inside your hair. And before she had a chance to be able to answer, he put his dirty hands in her hair. The girl, she was dumbfounded. She didn't know what to do. She took her feet and she started to run as fast as she could. She went to her home and the whole night she cried. The morning, she said the Poritz is going to come after her maybe. So she sold her house and she moved to the outskirts of Bardichov where she is. But she said now that this boy touched my hair. So she said I went and I cut all my hair. So Rav Levi asked her, my dear daughter, what did you do with your hair? She says, I burned all my hair. Because the boy touched all my hair. Except one strand of hair. So he said, why do you keep one strand of your hair? She said, things go hard in life. I don't make a living, I have problems. My parents died. I got in such a bad situation. And when things get so hard, I start to feel that Chas v'Shalom, maybe Hashem is doing something wrong to me. I keep this one hair and I look at it. And I tell her, Rachele, her name was Rachel. Because of your averah that you did and all these things happening to you. Hashem is good. But it's only because I did averah that Hashem is bringing all this sorrow to my life. And by this I vindicate Hashem and bring the averah to myself. And now that you see you come to me, I'm confessing that that's my averah. And that's all Rav Yitzchak had to hear. Rav Yitzchak, at that moment, he picked up his hands, said, Ribono shel olam, the master of the universe, if you take all the averot of Am Yisrael, all the wrongdoings, all the averot we do, Lashon Hara, Geneva, Gezela, Chas v'Shalom, Arayot, you put it in one of the scales, one side of the scale. That's a lot of averot. And tonight is Yom Kippur. All you have to do to put this strand of hair of this little girl on the other side. And that one strand of hair is going to overweight all the averot. And look at this little girl, how she's Mekadesh Shem Shamayim, is taking everything on herself and is Mekadesh your name. That's what and then he saw that the Shamayim opened up. And he went hurrying back to the shul to be able to say Kol Nidre, continue Kol Nidre. The people in the shul, he know that if the rabbi is late, you wait for him. You don't do anything. That's what it is. We have a lot of berachot in our lives. And Chas v'Shalom, we should not start to come to blame Hashem for things that don't go wrong. Hashem is reminding us that if we saw problems come in our lives, that we have to make ourselves better. We have to dedicate our lives to be able to help others. Maybe we're not doing chesed enough. Maybe we're doing in chasadim enough. If everybody will be able to take care of the other friend and his chaver, it will be a different world. And tonight, we have the zechut, Baruch Hashem. One of the simple people in our community. She doesn't need any introduction. She does it l'shem shamayim without any ulterior motive. She gives her life to others. Before we introduce her, I would like to ask Mrs. Imani, please come to say a few words for our guest of honor tonight.
Baruch Hashem, we all agree that we live in a society where we're all running 100 miles an hour. Every day we're very busy with homework, school, learning, kids, doctor's appointment, enrichment program, therapy, and everyday challenges. One of the pillars of the world is chesed. It's beautiful when we're all sitting on our couches and saying our tehillim. It's beautiful when we open our checkbooks and write checks to support different organizations or financially help others. But real chesed is when a person stops and goes out of their way to help another person. Whether it's to help a sick person, whether it's to go to a doctor's appointment, whether it's to help someone who had a baby, real chesed is really when we stop our daily life and go out of our way. Tonight I'm here to introduce Mrs. Rachel Navifar. Mrs. Rachel Navifar was born in Abadan, Iran during the reign of Shah. She attended university in Tehran when she earned a bachelor's degree in psychology and master's in early childhood education. She began working for Queen Farah Pahlavi Charity Association. She became the director of kindergarten and nursery program and was honored by Queen Farah Charity Organization for her work there. Despite her involvement with higher level society, she remained true to her observance, always cared to be a real representative of a Jewish woman. She made sure to carry herself with modesty to always make a Kiddush Hashem. Later, she was employed by Ministry of Welfare and standardized kindergarten and welfare program throughout Iran. Acting as an occupational therapist in rehabilitation program, Mrs. Navifar worked with one-on-one parents to teach them how to help their special needs children. She was also part of a group that improved condition in nursing homes and schools. After the fall of Shah, she moved to Vienna, where she worked for Hayas. With her degree in psychology, she assisted the adult and children of immigrants who were presented with challenges related to their transition in their new setting, with special interest and support devoted to the Iranian immigrants. After immigration to United States in 1987, Mrs. Navifar attended Brooklyn College, continued her study in school psychology. She worked for HID and then with Ohel Children's Services for almost 2 years. In 1992, Rachel joined Sephardi Bikur Cholim as a social worker, working with Syrian immigrants and helping them with medical and social issues, acting as an interpreter and assisting them with doctor's visits and other matters. At this stage in her life, according to the testimony by Rabbi Soleimani, she was very influential in helping the new Iranian immigrants. She helped settle many Iranian families, finding them housing, jobs, medical coverage, and school for their children. Often she went overboard by giving utmost to her clients, and she received recognition by the Office of Bikur Cholim for exceeding the guideline of her job. In 1998, Mrs. Navifar joined Kojo, taking care of elderly and ill clients, making home visits, monitoring home health aides, and doing errands with and for clients, taking them shopping and to the doctor, helping them prepare for Shabbat, for holidays, providing help and sympathetic ear when needed. Mrs. Navifar has been volunteering for Kojo as well as helping our community members. Rachel is also a professional shadchan l'shem shamayim. Tonight we're not here to say thank you to Rachel. Tonight we're here to say Tizkor LeMitzvot. We all need to go out of our comfort zone and do more chesed. Baruch Hashem, we have lots of ladies in our community who are participating in different chesed groups, but we still need more people like Mrs. Navifar to be involved in our community and help those people who need preparing for Shabbat, who have babies, who have many needs in this community. People need appointments to doctors, translation. We need to move, we need to go out of our comfort zone and do more chesed. May we merit to further strengthen the pillar of chesed in our community. Thank you, Mrs. Navifar.
Rabbi Soleimani, Shalita, and Rabbanit Soleimani for all the chesed that they do for the community. They are the real model for Gemilut Hasadim. I would like to thank everyone who took the time to join us tonight. Thank you for your support for Torah. Happy Mother's Day. Wishing all our parents haslacha in raising their children b'derech Torah u'masim tovim. Have nachat from all of them. May Hashem fulfill all your wishes letova b'reut v'haslacha b'racha v'kol tov. Most of our women are balei chesed and they're doing chesed in the community. I wish them all haslacha v'kol.